the people of around the world, especially I'm based my followers and supporters have been showing their love and their respect, and I really appreciate you taking time out. Um, I'm glad that the internet is working. How
Yes, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Jazakallah khair.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah.
Brother Isam, just for the viewers, can you please introduce yourself? Again, mashallah, you're very famous, but some
I'm
people here are asking, who is the guest? Just
Yes,
a quick introduction, if
yes,
it's possible.
of course. My name is Isam Bashiri. I'm an artist, a singer-songwriter based in Copenhagen, Denmark. I've been, yeah, doing this for the last 2 decades, and I used to be in a group called Outlandish. And one of the tracks that I'm very proud of that we did and wrote was back in 2005. We did a song called "Look Into My Eyes." Basically, it was is yeah, a poem written by a Palestinian teenager, and she's based in U.S. Uh, because she has, again, the insight of what life is in Palestine. She wrote this beautiful poem about what it means to be growing up in Palestine, and describing from a human point of view um, the life and the lifestyle, just the basic things. And I think that's some of the hardest things for us that are not living under an occupation, and to understand. And I hope that today's interview will help us understand that even more, and maybe even give us some insights that we were not aware of. And this song, subhanallah, it's just describing what is going on.
Can we quickly hear this song, Brother Isam?
Yeah, I can give you some lines from that song. I would love to. It says, she basically starts out saying, "Look into my eyes, tell me what you see. You don't see a damn thing, 'cause you can't relate to me." And that talks about the demonization that's going on, and we're not aware of it because we are here in the West. We're not aware of it. It's just, but thanks to the social media, we are waking up. We are waking up. And then she continues. She says, "You blinded by our differences. My life makes no sense to you. I'm the persecuted one. You the red, white, and blue." And she's talking to the Americans. Each day you wake in tranquility, no fears to cross your eyes. Each day I wake in gratitude, thanking God He let me rise. That's another thing that I think is beautiful today to see, with everything that's going on, to see the people of Palestine, the people of Gaza, um, being thankful and still thanking God, and still being humble, and that has inspired a lot of people around the world. You must know that. You have shown us what humanity means. You have, awakened that, and that's something that I think as a human being, I personally have needed to see that. And then she continues. She says, you worry about your education and the bills you have to pay. I worry about my vulnerable life, and if I survive another day. Your biggest fear is getting a ticket as you cruise your Cadillac. My fear is that the tank that is just left will turn around and come back. And that is, when I sing this, I've been singing this song for, yeah, this is since 2005. But just seeing these pictures now come, I mean, just a movie to this song is scary. It's scary. She has a second verse and continues. It explains what terror is. And she says, "See, I've known terror for quite some time. 75 years, so cruel. It's been going on for 75 years. I have no words for understanding that. My father is 77. my father. She continues. She says, "Terror breathes the air I breathe. It's the checkpoint on my way to school. Terror is the robbery of my land and the torture of my mother, the imprisonment of my innocent father, the bullet in my baby brother, the bulldozers and the tanks, the gases and the guns, the bombs that fall outside my door, all due to your funds." This is what, yeah, this is what uh this is what gets me, is that we in the West, especially America, is funding this, and it's been funding this for so long. And as human beings, we have a tendency to just forget. And yeah, I've had some of my Instagram followers, they've been asking me, Isam, is it just me who's been sleeping, or has this always been going on? And
Yeah, no.
the sad thing is, this has been always going on. But I tell people, now you are awake. Alhamdulillah, you are awake now. Now your job is to go knock on your neighbor's doors or at your work and talk about this and create awareness about this. 75 years. So,
Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Let me
Alhamdulillah.
end this poem. Let me end this poem.
Yeah,
She
please,
says,
please, please.
"You blame me for defending myself against the ways of my enemies. I'm terrorized in my own land, but I'm the terrorist." This is the victimization, that it's not the occupied that are the victims, but the occupier. And it's truly a sad situation. She ends the poem with the last verse saying, "American, do you realize that the taxes that you pay feed the forces that traumatize my every living day?" And then um, I rewrote it, because in the original she said, "Give me liberty or give me death," talking about an some old poetry from the American history. But it was too much for the record company and the radio, so we had to change that. So we said, "So if I won't be here tomorrow, it's written in my fate. May the future bring a brighter day, the end of our wait." And we're talking about the end of the occupation. And inshallah, that will happen soon, because justice must happen. This can't continue. It can't keep continuing. Like I said, my father is 77. Um, yes, but I've asked my followers about questions, and I have some questions for you. So, if you can introduce yourself, and then let's start this. And again, thank you so much for taking the time out.
Thank you, Brother Isam. First of all, apologies for the noise in the background. I'm in a hospital, and it's like a very big refugee center here now. So everywhere you go, there's people talking. I was in my tent now, and we have a lot of guests, and we also have some injured that we're taking care of. Also, the buzzing noise that you hear, this is the sound of spy drones. Can you hear the buzzing noise?
Yeah, we can hear it, and we've been hearing it from all the videos you've been sending. It must
Yes.
be, how do you, I mean, that noise
We
must be
got used. We got used to it. We got used to it.
of course.
So, very quick introduction. My name is Mansour Shouman. I'm Canadian Palestinian. I'm 39 years old, married, 5 kids. I have an engineering degree. I have a master's in business administration. I'm a professional consultant. I worked with big four companies. I worked with the public sector, oil and gas. I'm originally from Jerusalem.
Did you say oil and
So
gas?
yeah, I worked in oil and gas.
Okay.
Where I want to lead to is basically I never worked in reporting or journalism, or I never had social media accounts. So I'll get into that in a minute. So I'm originally from Jerusalem, and in the West Bank in Jerusalem, I mean, the suffering is also great, as you all know. So since a very young age, you grow up in an apartheid state there, and similar to what happened in South Africa, it's even worse. here in the so-called state of Israel. Um, uh, 2 years ago, we decided to move from Canada to Gaza to stay with my family. My wife's extended family here in Gaza. Um, for several reasons. One of them is we wanted them to grow up in our homeland. We believe that yes, Canada, we had a good life there, but there was so many things missing, right? Like the social norms, the religious norms, and the way the education system is set up there. I think together with many other European countries, is that they start forcing some kind of education on your
Mm,
children which you don't agree with from
mm.
an ideological perspective. So we took the decision to move to Gaza, even though it had many challenges. Gaza for the last 16 years has been under siege. For example, here we only had electricity like 8 hours a day. There's an embargo on so many different goods. Um, so
Are,
every few days, go ahead.
are you not worried for your family? I mean, you Canadian citizen. You have Canadian citizenship,
Correct,
and
correct.
you still chose to stay back in to stay in Gaza after all this happened. Where's your
Of
family,
course, yes.
really?
So 34 days into the war, my family and I got approval basically from the Israelis via request from the Canadian authorities to leave Gaza, to leave through the Rafah border. Um, my family had been staying in an apartment with 8 other families, and it started to become extremely hard for them to get the proper food, resources. Um, they were going through a lot, and they felt that they were like putting a lot of weight, putting a lot of pressure on their relatives. Hence, we agreed that okay, they'll temporarily leave to stay with her mother, my mother, her relatives in another country in the Middle East, while I decided to stay here in Gaza. And two reasons. First is after 1 week of the war here in Gaza, brother Isam, the Zionist propaganda was very strong, if you remember, especially talking about the Palestinian people being animals, raping women, cutting babies' heads. They are
Yeah,
all
yeah, yeah.
ISIS, etc. And the media here, especially the official TV broadcast stations, there were no international correspondents that can speak in English. There were very, very few. So a friend called and said, "Hey, we have an interview with Al Jazeera, with X channel, with Y channel, and we want someone that can speak in English and help to get the word across to the world about what's really happening here in Gaza." So that's when my journey started here in Nasser Hospital around 75 days ago. And since then, I've been sleeping on the same mattress in the same tent beside the maternity ward here. I've done over 80 different interviews and recorded programs on
Wow.
different TV channels worldwide. Um, uh, but a few weeks in, I was told, "Why aren't you on social media? Why aren't you on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter or Facebook or like you're not active there?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I thought that by appearing on national TV, we can get the voice out to the people." However, I was wrong because one good video on TikTok or Instagram can get you all the views to a different generation, to a different group of people than going on national TV, which it seems no one really watches, except for maybe Al Jazeera or other channels. I appeared on Fox News 6 times. I appeared on, like, I'm trying to get on TV channels to speak with the other side as well, just so that they can get the point across about what's really happening here in Gaza. Alhamdulillah, on social media, we've been very successful in many of our campaigns, and it led to the second thing, which is the charity work. So, unfortunately, here, after a few weeks, you realize that the Rafah border is actually closed. they're letting in aid, very, very little, very few trucks at a time. Not enough for the needs of the 1.8 million displaced civilians here. And like everyone was asking me all the time, Mansour, we want to help. How can we help? We donated to X organization, to Y organization. However, nothing is coming in. What do we do? Who do we give money to? And I was like, okay, you know what? Let me try to find ways of helping people here. And that's when it branched to the second thing that I'm very busy with. So it's 80% basically doing a lot of charity work here on the ground, and 20% doing outreach on media. Like, for example, thank you for giving me the opportunity with yourself. Um,
Thank
so
you, man. Thank you, Sidi.
we are like it's an honor, it's a privilege to be here. Together, wallahi, we are changing the world. These are historic moments that we are witnessing here. These are we've been all forced to take the red pill. We've been forced.
Mm.
We lived in the matrix. We thought that, we live in so-called democracies, so-called civilized countries, or civilized Security Council, etc., human rights. We are being lectured as a third world.
Mm.
But now look at what's happening here in Gaza. I mean, where are all of these voices that have called for all these rights over the last few years? Where are they when the reality of
Yeah.
the matter, it really needed them to intervene, right?
Yeah.
So, and the thing is that, sorry, one second.
Yeah. 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 I think it's profound what he's mentioning, because thanks to the social media and thanks to all you guys posting and sharing and supporting the people of Palestine, and all the videos that's coming out from there, we are actually we're changing the narrative, and that's been the fight ever since this tragedy uh, started happening, and it's been going on for so long. We're just sang the song for you, the poem by Jihad Ali, talking about
Yes,
75
sorry.
years.
So, sorry. So
Yes,
yeah, this is
please.
a little bit about me. So I've
Can I ask a
and and
question?
and yeah, of course, go ahead.
Yeah. I want to see your tent. I want to see where you sleep. Just to have, like, a if that's possible, just to have a view on what does it mean to live under these circumstances that's going on right
Okay,
now. But
I cannot
when
I cannot show you the whole tent because I don't want to film my
no, of course,
fellow
there's, yeah,
colleagues.
of course.
But I'll show you. This is okay. This is where I work, and this is
It
my
looks like
mattress.
an office desk right there. Yes,
This is
sir.
my mattress,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and
So,
this is the maternity ward, and this
yeah.
is the tent.
So yesterday you said there was a blackout. There was no internet yesterday,
Yes,
right?
yes. This
Just give us some words on that.
we had one of many blackouts. So basically, the Israelis they control electricity supply to Gaza. They control water supply. They control internet providing. They control phone calls. They control all of the infrastructure leading to this. So whenever they want to, they can cut off electricity, they can cut off internet, they can cut off water supplies, they can cut off phone call communications. So for the ninth or 10th time, they decided to cut off phone calls and internet from all of Gaza Strip, and that lasted for around 48 hours this time. So Alhamdulillah, we got it back a few hours back now.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
So, Sidi Mansour, we've been following the conflict through TV and social media. Can you share a specific experience or story from Gaza that has had a profound impact on you, something I'm thinking something we may not be aware of.
So
Obviously, there's I
yeah,
mean,
there's been so many things,
exactly,
but
exactly.
look, the amount of peace and tranquility that is on the look. I'm in Nasser Hospital now. Nasser Hospital is the scene of so many those who have been martyred, injured, etc. With the people, look at the sense of peace and tranquility. No one is, no one is like life is as normal. See,
Yeah, yeah.
tanks are 200 meters beside,
Alhamdulillah.
and this is what the scene looks like here in
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So, so the amount of peace and tranquility, in the people here. There's like in Ghazwat Badr, in the first battle in Islam. Before the battle, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَأَنزَلَ عَلَيْكُمُ السَّكِينَةَ, and He also أنزل المطر, أنزل like He brings down peace and tranquility on the people. Any nation on earth, after going through 83 days of hunger, of siege, of killing their people, robbing them of their wealth, destroying their homes, displacing them, letting them go through the cold, um, we have over 55,000 injured, over 10,000 under the rubble, over 21,000 killed. We have now 1.5 million in the south area of Gaza Strip and 1 million trapped, unable to get supplies to. Until now, brothers, there have been no mass robberies. There's no misconduct between the people.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
The social
Yeah.
structure, the religious strength in the people in Gaza here is something that shocked me. Wallahi, these people are different. I'm not from Gaza. I'm from Jerusalem. But Wallahi al-Azim, God has chosen these people for a reason. They are different.
Well,
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them. Yeah, go ahead.
they've been an inspiration for the whole world. They've been an inspiration for the whole world, and you are in our prayers and our thoughts. Sidi Mansour, what do you believe is the most significant misconception people often have about the situation in Gaza? Like, most significant misconception people often have about the situation in Gaza.
It depends who the people are. It depends who the people are.
I think
Um,
if we say
but
the people
but
in the West,
okay. So maybe the biggest misconception would be that let's see. The thing is, brother Isam, that with social media, mashallah, the truth is out there. Like I don't see a room for misconception for those who want to look for the truth. But I get what you're trying to say. Let me see. Like I want to say for misconception about for example Islam, but people can very easily look up and read about Islam to understand what Islam is. Um, but let's say, for example, that yes, there's no food to buy, there's no clothes, there's no blankets. That it's mass starvation right now. Like, yes, the people are suffering. Yes, there is malnutrition. Yes, um, there are so many challenges, but Alhamdulillah, God provides. God provides in so many ways that you don't know. And yes, there's a hadith that says that man asbaha, that if you wake up and you have food enough for a day, and you have your health and you have a couple of other things, it's as if the whole world is there with you. So we're living this right now. We wake up every day not knowing where our food will come, but it comes. It comes. So the misconception that maybe we are dying on the streets. That's not true. Alhamdulillah,
mm,
God provides.
mm,
But and look, the morale here, despite all the challenges, is very high. Like the people here on the ground, يعني, especially seeing the demonstrations out there in the West, seeing how everyone is supportive of the Palestinian cause, seeing the big shift in their understanding of what's happening here in Palestine.
mm,
No one would have ever dreamed of this explosion in social media that's
mm.
happening right now. That, Alhamdulillah, with efforts by you and other social media influencers, they've properly shown what is happening actually in Palestine. They've actually been able to amplify voices like mine and
Alhamdulillah.
other people who are trying to show what is happening here in Gaza. So this is something that no one would have ever dreamed of, and Alhamdulillah that it has happened.
Alhamdulillah. So that brings me to my next question about journalists who are only allowed to report on the situation if approved by the Israeli military in terms of images, recordings, and reporting. You just mentioned the social media, and for me, I see the social media as a big competitor to mainstream media. What's your thoughts on because I can imagine that you don't have many journalists, international journalists in Gaza, um, and if they are, they have to be. I know the Israeli military was like, "Hey, it has to be approved by us." Just some lines on that. What's your thoughts on that?
Okay. Can you just give me 1 minute,
Yes,
please? I just need to help someone with something.
yes, of course. Yeah. Well, um, just like Mansour was talking about, I think the biggest revolution that's had happened from a media point of view is the social media. This is amazing. It's amazing to see people mobilize without the help of government, without the help of mainstream media, um, but just using whatever talent people and just coming together. And if you see if you see, one thing that has struck me and I found it really beautiful is when someone exposes the media for demonizing the Palestinians. Just an example. I think it was ah who was it, USA Today or something, just the other day, and it was the classic. She wrote about Israelis getting killed and Palestinians died, something like that. And someone exposed that, and suddenly it just took off and it went viral, and um, everyone wrote to that um, newspaper, and yeah, that's how you bring change. That's how you bring change. The rhetoric, yes, indeed. Um, and we must continue to do that. That's like I said to Mansour, I've had a couple of people from Denmark uh, texting me and just telling me, "Hey, thank you for just bringing out this new narrative, and we've just not been exposed to it." Um, and and I understand that. I mean, just imagine if the newspaper you're getting every day just doesn't have that view, it doesn't have that perspective. So this is only thanks to um, the social media. And I love seeing people being creative in so many ways. People just have I mean, suddenly everyone has his own channel. It's amazing. It's amazing. And yeah, it's eye-opening um, when it comes to these serious matters, because we all know this is not the only genocide that's going on in the world right now. It's not the only one. It's not the only one. Sudan is going on right now. Congo is going on right now. And I don't know what's going on in China as well. And I'm not even going to go into, deeper into Africa or South America. This this is the beauty of people coming together and speaking up. We need this. UN, uh, all the politics. I mean, I don't follow the Danish media, to be honest with you. I don't follow the Danish media um, for a while. So when I did an interview 2 months ago uh, with a Danish newspaper, and I said that it was too black and white to call Hamas a terrorist group and Israel for a democratic state and just keep it like that. That was the Danish prime minister's view. You know, I couldn't have that. That's not right. It's not right. You know, I condemn what happened on the 7th of October, but we need to talk about the occupation. It's a reaction. Whatever happened is a reaction. If we don't talk about the occupation, something's wrong. So people are waking up. I love seeing the different colors coming together for the demonstrations. And yeah, enough is enough. We need to speak about this. We need to, and that's one thing I want to ask about Mansour. How do we bring real change? Um, um, yeah, it's just not good enough. It's not good enough from Biden talking about Israel has to respect the laws of um, of UN and yeah, all these things while he's sending, the biggest tanks, the biggest ships, the biggest jets, the biggest, I mean, just more guns, more bombs. Who you trying to, you're lying. You're just lying for people. That's not right. So I'm curious about where Mansour, um, how Mansour looks at this. Like I said, he's a Canadian citizen and he's there um, and taking his time out supporting. Um, I have like 20 questions I want to ask him. Um, so if any one of you also have some questions, please do write in the comments, and I'll um, try to ask him as well. Um, Also, I want to know, um, yeah, about the kids, how the kids are affected by this. I mean, this is just from the pictures again. I don't know how to say this, but I've been singing "Look Into My Eyes" for so long, and in a way, it has just become a um, um, yeah, like standard, So when I saw these pictures, it just reminded me of, hey, this is real. This is real. And I've been singing the second verse. Um, See, I've known Tara for quite some time. I used to sing 57 years so cruel. This is back in 2005. And for every year, I would just add another year. But just seeing these pictures on the social media and each line, terror is the robbery of my land, the torture of my mother, the imprisonment of my innocent father, the bullet in my baby brother. Oh, I know we all have some images that we've seen and that will stay with us for the rest of our lives. And I usually say, I feel that, we want to help. We want to help the people of Palestine. We want to help the people of Gaza. We just want to help the people of the Middle East, bring some peace, stability. But I really feel like they
Sorry, my
help.
apologies. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. I was just telling Mansour, I'm just telling, that it's important for me to deliver you the message of the people, that um, they're sharing and they're following all the news you bring us. so we can wake people up and know what's going on in Gaza. And the government doesn't represent the people. And even for the demonstrations, we see that we are being demonized. But because there's so many people on the streets, things are changing. And so I'm sending a lot of love from the people, a lot of respect, and a lot of thanks. How can we support the protection of you guys, the journalists, the photographers who risk their lives to tell the world that what's really going on in Palestine? How can we, help with that?
Okay. So Gaza, there is no place safe, and there is no guarantee of safety anywhere. And being a journalist or just trying to reach out on social media to people outside makes you an immediate target. Until now, over 104 journalists, many with their families, have been killed. That's why since the start of me working here with the team at large voluntarily, trying to get the word about what's happening here, I haven't been in touch with my family on a physical way, in any way. I haven't been able to meet my children, my wife, or even connect with them, because that makes them a target immediately. So multiply that by the hundreds or thousands of other people who are trying to get the word out. So that's the life of the journalist here. That's the life of a reporter or a social media influencer.
Mm.
If you decide to be a journalist or someone who is active on social media, it means that you have already decided to sell your soul to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? يعني خلاص, at any time you have to be ready for death. It's like I'm not saying that this will inevitably happen. I'm saying that it makes you a target. Okay, so it's a decision that each one that you are seeing coming on social media, they know that by doing that alone, خلاص, they are immediately a target. So we have to be very careful in where we go, when we take our phones with us, who we go out with, where we sit, who do we talk to. But at the same time, we try to still do the work. Especially now, I'm being very involved in the charity work, so I have to move around different places to ensure that the work is happening. So, for example, when I move, I don't move the exposed, for example. I take certain precautions. I don't have technology on me. So, what you can do to prevent this is the same what you can do for Gaza all around the world. It's for any civilian here in Gaza. So, number one, continue your boycotting efforts. Okay. Unfortunately, in the West, money talks. It's based on materialism, and those who fund the people that run for elections, etc., once they feel that their bonus check at the end of the year is going to get hurt, once they see that their earnings, their quarterly earnings go down, they will put pressure on the politicians, on the decision makers to change their stance. So don't stop boycotting. Number two, don't stop what you're doing on social media. Continue to share, create, like, comment on all different platforms. Especially, the new generation, they're the ones that changed the game. The world government didn't see this coming.
Definitely.
They didn't see this coming.
No.
No one saw this coming.
No.
Like, everyone thought that TikTok is just an entertainment platform. But then you get someone like Nikki Haley who says, oh, if you go on TikTok for 30 minutes, you become this much % anti-Semitic or something. Some kind of funny statement like that. But it shows that they're scared of what you guys are doing. So don't stop what you're doing on social media. Number three. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, go. Number three,
yeah.
Let's hear number three.
Number three, continue to demonstrate on the ground. Okay, don't stop your demonstrations all around the world. Talk to each other. Don't approach each other. Understand where each one of you is coming from. Have discussions. Bring other people to join you. Look, as humans, our nature is to go along with the strong. Go along with those who are larger in numbers, who have a greater power, who remain steadfast more. So if the neutral person out there sees that, wow, look at all these numbers supporting Palestine versus, for example, only a few dozens in the other rallies, they will like unconsciously start to say, yes, I think I should also be, pro-Palestinian, or it seems that these people are doing the right thing because they believe in, whoever has the greater numbers are those who are right. So don't stop. It also gives us a very big moral boost here. Like everyone here has a smartphone, some very old ones. But we all see the demonstrations that you do everywhere, and it brings us a lot of moral boost. So never
Mm.
stop these demonstrations. Continue to put pressure. Number four, lobby your governments. Every country has a different way to lobby its officials. I'm not sure how it is in Denmark. I'm not sure what's Denmark's position is on an international level, and what's happening here. But like in countries like the United States or Canada or the UK or Australia, they have like ways to talk to their MPs or their congressmen or their senators,
Yeah, we have
and
that.
they have official means of lobbying.
Yes.
So what is by the way, what is Denmark's official stance, if I may ask?
Uh, I would say Denmark is doing pretty much what the US is doing. They don't have
Okay.
much to say. They've been it's just been yeah, like a CD that keeps repeating that's themselves. It's just Israel has the right to defend itself. That's basically been
Yeah.
the stance.
So
And
so they're like,
yeah,
so it's basically NATO stand. They're part of NATO, I think,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, at the end, look, the end game is the following. Once the West sees that this cancer that they have put in the middle of the Arab and Muslim world is too heavy of a cost, too heavy of a burden to keep supporting, and they will see that they are losing the support of their citizens. They are losing their control over this world because of supporting this tiny state in the middle of nowhere. When they see that the Palestinian people here, regardless of all that they have tried to put to stop them, are remaining patient, remaining steadfast on their land, sticking with their values, sticking with their morals, they're going to give up. They're going to give up. They're going to give in because they at the end, they will align with the strong. And given what I know, what's happening on the ground here, the IDF is lying about their
Mm.
casualties. They are lying about how much they are being hurt on the ground here. And once the Israeli people know the reality of how their own government, their own military, killed their own people on October the 7th through
Mm.
Apache helicopters, through
Mm.
tanks, right? When they know about how many hostages they've killed by their own airstrikes here in Gaza, when they know about how dozens of their soldiers are not only have lost all of their limbs or their eyesight or have now disabilities or are in fridges waiting to announce to the families that they are dead. Once they understand the reality of the situation, one second, sorry. Once they understand what's really happening, you will see that the already conflicted Israeli people, Israeli government, will fight even more, and it will cause more disruption. And civilizations, Isam, don't collapse by external factors. They collapse by internal factors.
Mm.
Okay, look, read through history. Internally, they lose their values, they lose their morals, they lose their compass, and they collapse from within because there's no more values to bring the people together. And that's what's going to happen in Israel. Already over 500,000 Israelis have left Israel. They're not coming back.
Mm.
All Israelis have dual citizenships. You know, so 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 it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of patience, right? It's just a matter of trying to keep the people here steadfast, helping the displaced civilians remain calm, remain steady on their land. So we talked about boycotting. We talked about social media. We talked about demonstrating. We talked about
Mm.
lobbying. We're going to talk about donating wisely. Donating wisely.
What
So
does that
if
mean?
if you know Palestinians, if you have to talk to Palestinians that you trust, Palestinian friends, neighbors, co-workers that have family here in Gaza, and then explain and then they will direct you to how to ensure your funds can reach the people in need right now. In my opinion, the big charities have let us down. The UN is a very biased organization. Uh, Many charities also have good intentions, but most of what they have bought or what they have prepared is stuck outside the Rafah border. We need to help the people here right now. We cannot wait until the war ends because we don't know when this war will end. The people here need help right now. So talk to your Palestinian friends, talk to your Palestinian neighbors, your colleagues. Tell them that, look, I know that you have family in Gaza. I want to know how I can get my funds to them. Okay?
Mm.
That, in my opinion, is the best way to ensure that you put your hard-earned money in order to ensure it reaches the people in need as soon as possible.
Mm.
So donate wisely. Go ahead.
Okay, okay. Donut wisely. That's a good one. That's a good one. Let's yeah. One thing that we read about a lot in the media is here is is Hamas. Like all the politicians are talking about Hamas. So one question I got is in Gaza, how supportive of Hamas are the people, and of the 20,000 plus killed, how many of these victims are Hamas fault?
When October the 7th happened, Isam, I can assure that 99.9% of the people were shocked. They didn't know what was happening, right? And
Say
before
that
October the
again.
7th, when
Can you
October the
repeat that?
7th happened,
Yeah.
when October the 7th happened, 99.9% of the people here were shocked. They didn't know what happened. They didn't know what was happening. The civilian population here had no idea
Mm,
what's going on,
mm,
right? And even before October the 7th, there were many demonstrations against how the Hamas government was ruling and some of the things that they were doing, right? So there's been a lot of discontent. But after getting bombarded for 82, 83 days by the Israelis, right?
mm,
Uh, right now, like, look at your social media feeds. Have you seen anyone talk against Hamas or talk bad against Hamas from Palestinians, even though they can? Even right? Like, it's because they know that during the time when we are being attacked and killed by the Zionists, we need to all be united. It doesn't matter if you're Hamas or
mm,
right.
mm-hmm.
So there's something happening. If I'm the same, it's true. Huh? Uh, everyone here is cheering because a truck of aid has come.
Alhamdulillah.
So we,
Alhamdulillah. So, yeah, you just follow up. I'm glad to see you smiling. I mean, that was actually one of the questions I got is, and we can come back to the Hamas part. Do you receive the aid and the donations that people send, or is it outside the Rafah border? I mean, do you guys receive it, or?
yeah. So normally Gaza receives 500 trucks a day. Normally, this is in before October 7 times. So when people are in their homes, when business is as usual, when people, right now we have received until now since the start of the war around 5,000 trucks. So, but if you multiply like 83 by 500, that's around 40 something thousand trucks. So we're like at 10 or 12% of the actual need. And many of the trucks that came in actually had only 2 or 3 pallets inside them. So let me explain the process. First of all, a lot of these charities, in order to get one second. Let me try to go to a quieter place. Uh, So let me explain to you how the process works.
Yeah.
First of all, the charities need to get approval by the Egyptians to get their goods to cross over to the border. And in order to do that, a lot of things have to happen. I can't talk about it publicly. That's number one. Number two, it gets stuck behind the Rafah border for weeks. Okay? Number three, once they do certain things with the Egyptian government, then it's allowed to go and get checked by the Israelis. Okay, every truck that comes in has to be checked by the IDF. And many of these trucks, they empty it. So we only receive like 2 or 3 pallets of what's supposed to arrive. Many of these trucks, they arrive to us sometimes with expired food, expired goods. Many of these trucks come and they allow things that we don't need. Things like gloves, like masks, like cloth linen to cover our dead. So it's like, and not only that, so once it's released by the Israelis, it doesn't go directly to the Palestinians. It goes to the UN and they put it in their warehouses, and then they decide when they will distribute it or how they distribute it and to where they distribute it. So even the aid that's supposed to come to us has to go through 3 different foreign entities, and then we might or might not see it. Here in Nasser Hospital, which is the center of all of everything, I've personally only seen around 25 aid trucks and 1 fuel truck since the start of the war. Okay? And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help our brothers and sisters in the north, in Gaza city, because right now we cannot get aid to them. We used to get aid to them before. We used to help them a lot before. However, for the last 3 to 4 weeks, we are not able to get in touch with them.
Wow. And where were you? You said so. You're south. You in South Gaza?
I used to live in Gaza city.
Yeah.
In Gaza city in the north, and then I moved to Khan Yunis, and now I'm here in Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis.
Okay. We talked about what we can do as individuals to support the freedom of Palestine, boycotts, demonstrations, charity events, and awareness on social media. What would you wish if that we did more? Because a lot of people are asking me that we want to do more. They're already doing it. They're doing all this. They want to do more. They want me to ask you, what's your wish if something they can do more?
Okay. First of all, I ask them to not be emotionally driven. Yes, it's good to have the emotions, like we're human beings. I ask them, number one, to learn more, to educate themselves more on 3 topics. Number one, what Zionism is. Because sometimes people mix up between Zionism and Judaism, and they are not equal at all. I have so many Jewish friends who are supporters until now, even financially, able to help us. I have Jewish professors, mentors, managers, colleagues who are supporting the Palestinian cause. Please, Zionism is different. I'm not gonna spoil the surprise for you, but please take the time to read a little bit about Zionism, and you will understand why the IDF decides that it's moral to do what they're doing. Why they bomb churches, why they bomb mosques, why they bomb hospitals, why they kill children, why they strip men and women and enjoy this. So read about Zionism. Okay, because when you act, okay, maybe in the future you won't have all these social media images and TV images showing the Palestinian suffering. But now you will know more about Zionism, and hence, when you act, you will act out of history, out of credibility, out of facts. Number two, learn about the Palestinian-Israeli conflict history. This didn't just start on October the 7th. This didn't just start on October the 7th. This started many, many decades before. So try to learn more about the history of the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. Number three.
Yeah, sorry. Go.
Yeah. Number three, learn more about Islam. To understand what's happening here in Palestine and understand how are Palestinians acting and why are they remaining steadfast and patient and optimistic and continue to do what they're doing, you have to understand Islam.
Mm,
So talk to your local masjid, your imam, read some books, take a copy of the translated Quran, do a search in the internet, start learning now about Islam.
mm,
So knowing more about these three subjects will definitely put you in the right path, inshallah, so that you can move forward out of facts. Okay?
mm,
And then just to quickly answer your question, renew your intention that, okay, why I want to do what I'm doing, right?
mm,
I want to help Gaza in other ways, okay? Sit down, think with yourself, okay, what are the different ways I can support from where I am right now? Note it down, put an action plan, make smart goals, specific, measurable, actionable, result-oriented, time-bounded. And finally, make the intention of joining us here in Gaza, joining us here in Jerusalem, in Palestine, very soon. Very soon. Palestine historically has always been the light of the world. Wallahi al-Azim. Palestine has always been the place where positive change happens to the world. And Palestine is not only for Palestinians. Palestine is for all the free world.
mm,
So please make the intention of joining us here. This war will stop. The Israelis are begging for it to stop.
mm.
But we will not allow it to stop unless we get the full rights of the Palestinian people. And this is
Mm.
going to happen very soon, inshallah.